College that we have a good relationship with the citizens in Hutto and our friends in the outlying areas of Hutto as well. We are so pleased to be in Hutto, and we're actually here at Veterans Hill Elementary School. Scott has given you the background on sort of the experience we've had in the past 2 years of getting to the point where we're actually going to have a groundbreaking on May 22nd. But I want to back up a little bit more than that. Temple College has had a presence in East Williamson County for a number of years. The Taylor Center was opened there on Main Street in 1997. We have continued to teach there, and in 2006 formed a partnership with TSTC Waco, a formal partnership that would bring workforce education to East Williamson County. Unfortunately, we didn't have a place to do that. So what TSTC has been able to do is, through the high schools, offer a dual credit for students prior to their graduating from high school. But we didn't have a facility to move that education forward so that when they complete high school, they could complete those workforce education programs. Nor did we have a place to serve as many students as needed to be served. And so our board was struggling. In 2007, legislation was passed that created what we call EWCHEC. It's East Williamson County Higher Education Center. And it is not location specific. It's not located in Hutto. It's not located in Taylor. It's located in East Williamson County. And the idea was this multi-institution teaching center would be able to serve students with dual credit while they're still in high school, and would then be able to serve those students at least through the first 2 years with Temple College and the partnership with TSTC. And then for students who chose to go on toward a bachelor's degree, we would have a partnership with four-year universities. And the leading partner for that will be Texas A&M University Central Texas, that has been under the guidance of Tarleton State University and is now a standalone university going through the accrediting process with Southern Association. So those plans have been in place for a number of years. Where we were stymied is where we're going to have a place to offer this education that is now available. The partnerships are in place. And along came the people in Hutto. Elton and I actually came to that meeting in the mayor's office and the city manager's office, trying to find out whether the people in Hutto really wanted to be a part of this partnership that we had. We needed to know where we were with Hutto. And what has happened from that one meeting, I didn't have the exact date, but Scott had it up there in March, has been an amazing experience. And I've got to tell you that higher education moves like a snail. This hasn't been like a snail. It's been like a wild frog. We were almost immediately from, let's think about, can we pull this off, to here's land where it can actually take place. And oh, by the way, we'll have a branch campus maintenance tax election. And so we went through this whole cycle within a year, from concept to out asking the voters to support that. I think y'all need to give yourself a huge round of applause, because it is absolutely amazing what you have accomplished. I want to tell you briefly that we are at Veterans Hill Elementary. Fortunately for us, the school district was in a situation where they had that elementary school available. Now, you don't normally think of an elementary school site as being the perfect location to offer higher education classes. And you especially don't think that if you go into the bathrooms. Let me tell you, but they're no longer like that. They have been brought up to big size. And we are very fortunate. Temple College has about 120 students who are taking classes at Veterans Hill. We have not done a good enough job about getting the word out so that people know where we're located. And while it is an absolutely wonderful facility, it's not on a major roadway, so people aren't driving by to see what's going on. And we need you to help us get that word out, because we have full academic programs there. And TSDC, Dr. Stokely will be talking about the programs that are available at Veterans Hill currently for students to get on the road to an associate degree in workforce education. I can't thank you enough for what you've done. You are a very important part of Temple College, and I bring you greetings from the boards of trustees at TC. But more than that, I'm bringing an invitation to you to join us in a ceremony on Friday night at the Hutto Performing Arts Center. It will be the second graduation ceremony for East Williamson County. Usually, last year we had about 50 people participate. Legacy Early College High School, those students who are completing an associate degree, and this year I understand 29 of 30 students who are seniors will get an associate degree from us 2 weeks before they graduate from high school. It is a very impressive ceremony. If you have a chance, 7 o'clock, May 11th, this Friday night, I would encourage you to come. It's a really neat event. Elton, come up and join me, and I'll turn this over to you, and you can tell them about the great things TSDC.
I'm old.
Oh! Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. As Dr. Barron said, this has been a partnership that was formed starting back several years ago, and it's evolved now to what it is today. And as Dr. Barron said, her board is very, I guess, engaged in this particular partnership in the facility that's fixing to be built here at Toll Road 130 and Highway 79. Our board is the same. With this particular partnership, TSDC has a statewide mission. However, we cannot go into any particular area unless we're invited in by the community college which has that particular area. In this case, it's Temple. It's their service delivery area. So when we started this venture several years ago, we were invited in by Temple College to be a part of this. And as Dr. Barron said, things sometimes don't go as planned. And all of a sudden then last spring, when the elementary school came available to start teaching in, you know, I told my folks, well, we need to start in September. And they told me it's impossible. Well, I see Carlos back there laughing. It wasn't impossible because we started teaching classes in the fall, and we're teaching there right now. Currently, we are offering 6 programs: air conditioning, refrigeration, culinary arts, electrical construction, industrial systems and engineering, telecommunications, and welding. When we started these particular programs, we had about 3 months to get prepared, get equipment in, get the facility ready to get to where we needed to be. We started off by offering all certificate programs, which will evolve into associate degree programs when we move into the new facility when it's completed. So we were hopefully staying on target with our board. Our board meets quarterly. We have a 9-member board. They're all appointed by the governor of the state of Texas, and they meet every 3 months. Every spring in May, they meet in Waco. And since we are a statewide system, it rotates across the system. In the fall, in the summer, we will be having the meeting in Marshall, Texas. In the fall, it will be out in Sweetwater, Texas. And in the winter, it's always in Arlington. I wanted the minute order approved for the contractor to start the groundwork for this particular building. We had some issues on the design part of it with the architects, and then when we put it out for bids, we have not officially made the official selection as far as the contractor the builder, but I think it's pretty well out there in the community. We will be announcing that shortly. At the board meeting last week, we actually had to pull that minute order off the board meeting, but our board chair is very willing when we make that selection in the next couple of weeks to call a special meeting of the executive committee and get it approved. For that reason, the groundbreaking is still on for the 22nd of May, which I will tell you, Dr. Barron said her board is engaged. it is a focus point for our board. I've already heard from 4 that said they will be at the groundbreaking. So knowing that, knowing our chancellor will be there, I know it is a big day for East Williamson County and for the city of Hutto. I'm just pleased to be a part of it. You know, it's a partnership with Temple College. Temple College offers the academics. They offer a lot of programs and the health careers. But when we started this partnership, there's things that they don't offer. Transportation and service, and some of those aviation, some of the programs that, as Dr. Barron has said, we will probably never offer. So it's a great partnership for us, because what they offer, they do a wonderful job. What they don't offer, we will have an opportunity to come in and do a good job. So the community gets everything. It's the best of the best in all of the fields. So it's just a great opportunity for us to work together with Temple College and making this thing grow. And for us, I think we have approximately 25 students at the elementary school. We've set a goal in the fall of at least 100. Our plan is by next year, when we get into the new building, of having 200 students and then growing and growing. My thoughts are, as Dr. Barron says, we're going to have another building then, so which would be a good thing. One thing that I have mentioned in my particular executive team meetings, and I got an update from Mr. Cozine yesterday at the executive team meeting, and Jeff Pyatt, about all of the recruiting activities, all of the things we're doing to encourage students to come to TSTC and to Temple College. There's just a lot going on from what I can see as far as our recruiting efforts are concerned. But one thing that we're going to offer here that a lot of colleges do not traditionally in the technical arena, we will be offering courses days, nights, and weekends. So that's something that I want to make sure that once we build this center and get it started, there will be available times for students that want to come back, whether they're new students and they want to go during the day, that's fine. If they're working in an existing job and they want to come back to be retrained, we're offering at night, Saturdays, whatever it's going to take, we want to certainly do that. So I'm very pleased to be here on behalf of our board and the chancellor. I know it is an opportunity for Temple College and TSTC to work together, and I will tell you, as I tell everybody, I have a granddaughter that lives down the road here about 15 miles, and my son always brings her by and says, Dad's going to have a part in this over here. Our Peepaw's going to have a part in that. She says, Peepaw, it's just dirt. So I'm waiting for the groundbreaking to start and the machinery to start moving so little Emily can come by and say, Peepaw wasn't lying about that. So it's just I want to get the ground, we want to get the ground broken, we want to start the building, and we want to move forward, because I just think the opportunity for this area, it's not just going to be about one building, it's going to be about several buildings in the long run. So I'm sorry, he could beat me up, and I don't want him to do that. Mark, I'm going to turn it over to you to talk about the building itself.
Thank you.
Mark Smith.
Sorry, I can't do fixed devices. How's everybody doing today? All right, let me see if I've got the remote figured out yet. All right, what we're going to do is going to show you some of the things that our architects have provided us related to the building. And a lot of you have already seen this. Matter of fact, as I look throughout the room, many of you could probably do this presentation right now. This is our proposed master site plan. You kind of saw this earlier. This is the whole trek coming down 130 and 108. And then up at the top is where we're going to begin our initial building and design phase. We're starting up top. If you look at the topography out there, you can see everything's flowing down towards 79. And it will be backwards for us to start at the bottom and work up, because then things are going to flow into buildings we've already built. This is kind of architectural rendering of what the landscaping is going to be around our first facility. And by the way, raise your hands if you have any questions at any point. Now this picture is a little bit old, because Scott, does this have a laser pointer on it?
It does.
Yeah, there it is. Right up here, you're going to see in a little bit, we decided we were going to put a sign in there because one of the programs that I want to show you up on the top floor, our culinary arts program, it's got stuff up on there that blocks some of what that window would be showing, and we don't want that showing out to the public. So we're going to show you a different picture here in a minute with that. Southeast view. You notice that over here, got a nice view heading out toward Del Diamond up that way. And there's that view. Again, right up in here is where we're going to have our new signage. There's a proposed night shot of what it's going to look like. And I can't wait to come down 1:30 at night to see this beacon out on the horizon, because it's going to be just a beautiful sight. As high as it is already on the ground, coming up 1:30, and then seeing a 3-story building out there. It's going to look gorgeous. Now, what are we going to put inside this building? We've got lots that we tried to pack into this building. With 2 institutions trying to put a whole lot of stuff in about 112,000 square feet, we had to be as flexible as we could possibly be. TSTC had to commit to breaking out of paradigms that they've been into for having separate buildings for separate programs, and we had to do the same. We have to start learning how to do education differently because we had to get everything into only 112,000 square feet. Down here at the bottom, this is our intake area. That's where student services is going to be. So when our learners first come in the front door here, they come in and they'll be greeted with some friendly faces to help them get started. Right in through here, this area right in here, we've got a combination of a library and a cafe in that area with some seating right out here so that we hopefully can kind of set up what you see at like a Barnes & Nobles or something type environment. We have classrooms out here. We've got classrooms out on the outsides here. And I got to get my cheat sheet because some of this is TSTC stuff and I don't want to mess it up. Over here, they're going to have electrical construction programs. They're going to have welding back here. In the middle, and Fred, if I'm wrong, please speak up. You got AC over here. Building construction is going to be back here. Plumbing, and then telecom is going to be down in this area. And right up front here, you're going to have industrial maintenance. And those are 7 of the programs that they're going to have down on the bottom floor. When we get up to the top floor, they've got a culinary arts program, which is that window that looks out to the west. As you can see, a lot is packed in here. This is the first floor of the building. Now, when we start looking at the second and third stories, they really cut off right about here. This front area right down here is the first, second, and third floor. The rest in the back, it's about 1.5 floors high to be able to handle everything that we need to do for TSTC. Here's what we have for our second floor. We've got a whole series of classrooms over here. We've got 8 classrooms. Matter of fact, this setup here we designed after something we're doing up at a new academic building we're putting in at Temple, where these are 40-seat classrooms. We know there's times that we need bigger meeting space. So the only way to handle that was to be able to have flexible walls in there. So we've got movable walls to take that to 80 or 120, and really when it's open it'll hold more than 120 in those particular areas. So this gives us some flexibility that we're going to need, like when we've got freshman orientation, those kind of things. We'll be able to do that in here. Over here, we've got 2 computer labs. Back on the bottom floor, we had a 40-person computer lab that I didn't show you guys, but we've got one down there that'll be a lot for testing and a lot for open lab space. We've got 2 computer labs up here. Each are 25-station computer labs. Mostly will be used for training, but can be used for open labs as needed. And then we have another classroom right here. This is going to be a faculty suite area. All our faculty are going to be into one area, and we're going to use systems furniture to compartmentalize that area. Then up on the top floor, everything over here in purple is going to be the culinary arts program. They do a wonderful job, and hopefully when we get that thing up and running, we'll all get some chances to sample what they cook up here. Over here, we've got our science and art area. The very corner room up here is a specialized art room. Our art folks have been asking for something more robust than what we've given them down here in the past, so they can do more than just art appreciation. So we set up a special art room up here, and then the rest of these are either a chemistry, an A&P, or a general science lab, so we can begin doing the science classes that are going to be needed for down here. Let's see, Robin, Dan, did I miss anything?
No, other than some of the general space for the students as far as studying and things like that.
Right, good point. Some of these little areas, there's alcoves in between some of the classrooms areas. We're going to have seating in between there because we know that they need places to sit, to get together, maybe small groups and do things. And we're actually going to use some things like whiteboard paint and put that in those areas so that while they're working on stuff, they can draw it right there on the wall and take it off. And so a lot of these open areas that you're going to see will be filled in with just little nook areas. We want to have power in those places. We're trying to get set up. I don't know if I ask for it too late in the process. I'll find out here soon. But I'm trying to get some USB ports in those places so people can charge their iPads, iPods, and other devices while they're in those areas. So we're trying to look at it holistically to see what all we can put in there.
I might want to mention the technology in the smart classroom.
Yes. Every one of our classrooms will have smart technology in it. In other words, we're going to have the data projection system that you see in there. We'll have the other types of devices like DVD players and such that you're going to need to have a more robust classroom environment. And so we expect every one of our classrooms in here to have that smart technology in it, including our art classroom.
On the third floor for culinary arts, the dining areas, I think the group might be interested in that.
Fred, you want to talk on that? That way, the dining areas of culinary arts, you want to talk on what you've got there?
Right, the dining area is about 3,000 square feet of serving, and basically we'll have our meetings there, and we'll have, as we do in Waco, we'll provide lunches to the public. They can come and be served gourmet food at really reasonable prices. And we'll use it for events. It's facing Dell Diamond, and it's going to have an amazing view at night. So that's where the serving area will be. In addition, it'll have 3 kitchen areas, a production, a bakery, and a culinary kitchen as well. Can you go back to the first floor? I want to mention one item. Yeah, in the back, you know, the shoe on area in the back, it says main lab. That was deliberately designed so that these technologies will integrate and do project-based learning activities such as building a portable building. So the design of the selection of the program was deliberate, and that area was specifically designed for this activity. The students learn by learning. So all these programs will be integrated in one project to build portable buildings. We used to do that at TSDC way back. So we're going to be doing that project-based learning in this location. And we'll have the infrastructure to be able to do that kind of work.
Thank you, Fred.
Yeah.
Here's that one computer lab I was talking about on the first floor as well. Well, that's all I have for as far as what we have for pictures and stuff, and you can see them out here. If you have any questions, Dr. Barron, Dr. Stuckley, or I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. I know most of you have seen these quite a few times, so.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's on the third floor.
Sure.
You've got baking kitchen, production kitchen. You said, is that where your sign is on the outside?
Yes, it's actually going to be right here.
So that's actually then, and that is on the west.
That will actually be that sign is on the south side. It's facing 130.
Southwest.
South.
It will be facing.
No, it'll be facing 79. I'm sorry.
Oh, facing
It'll be on the
79.
south side, yes.
Oh, I thought you said it would face 130.
Let me back up here. Let's see. Go one more back. Yeah, the building here, you've got 130 that comes up here, and then 79 here. That signage is going to be right here.
Okay,
On
I'm
that
saying
building. And then those windows that face the west are over here on this side to show out that side. We have refrigeration units and some other equipment inside that kitchen that you'd be able to see from the outside through the windows, so we put the signage up to block that instead. Other questions? Well, as Dr. Barron and Dr. Stuckley have said, we are just elated to be down here working with you guys. It has been at a torrid pace. Okay. Dr. Stuckley talked about what they did out at Veterans Hills in 3 months. If you haven't had a chance to go out there, I encourage you to go out and see how they turned an elementary school into what they've turned it into. Simply amazing. I mean, you can't describe what in 3 months they put together. And yes, he told them, you will make it happen, and they did. Oh.
One thing I wanted to mention, you know, for TSTC, a partnership, this is not our first rodeo. We have a couple other partnerships going on, but what I like about this one is you learn as you get into these partnerships. Right before I became president, we had gotten into a partnership down in the southeast part, down toward Richmond and Rosenberg. And when the facility was designed, it was designed so that all of the technical stuff was on one end of the building, and all of the other academics and computer classes were on the other end of the building. Our students, they never saw each other. And it's still that way. It's a divide because it's sort of technical versus, well, it's a whole lot different here. We want our students to know that they are attending the college at EWCHEC. It's not Temple College, it's not TSTC. It is one college. So that is very, very important. And that's what went into a lot of the design. So students are students. They belong, they're attending the college at EWCHEC, the East Williamson County Higher Education Center. So very, very important. The other thing I wanted to mention, on May 23rd at Dale Diamond, thanks to those ladies right here at the table, we have an event, and to Fred and to Jeff, where we are bringing the TSTC Roadshow to Dale Diamond. All of our technologies will have booths set up there, and if I'm not mistaken, Jan, the first 1,000 that come through.
Yeah, we have 1,000 general admission tickets. Contact Jeff. Jeff's the holder of the tickets now. We passed him. We do.
So for the first 1,000 that come through and tour and look at what we offer at TSTC, they will get one of those tickets. And so I think that'll be a golden opportunity for us to do a good job at recruiting to get ready for the upcoming fall semester. So, and then I think we're probably 1 year from the new facility. So we've got 1 more year at the elementary school, but if we could turn that around in 3 months and get moved in, it's a piece of cake. I can assure you. Because, Fred, am I right? People said it could not be done. And then I know what they really said. He said, "I'm crazy."
I have a lot more hair and I was a lot taller.
Any other questions from anyone?
I just want to thank y'all for coming. This is the first one we've done, so I'm sure we'll work out some of the kinks as we go through this. But plan on coming back to see us in 3 months, and y'all have a great day. And May 22nd,
That's it.
May 22nd at 10 a.m.,
Yes.
County Road 108, we will be having a groundbreaking ceremony. I encourage you to come. There will be a lot of dignitaries from throughout the state, and should be a great day of celebration for the Hutto community. Y'all have a great day.